People chase happiness their entire lives, like something is missing. They achieve goals, collect moments, and smile for others. Yet a quiet emptiness keeps returning. That's because happiness is often misunderstood as something to reach instead of something to practice. And if you've ever wondered why being happy feels harder than it should, this story is for you. Most of us were taught that happiness comes after success, love, or approval finally arrive. We learn to delay joy, telling ourselves we'll be happy once life becomes easier or more impressive. Psychologically, this trains the mind to live in anticipation rather than presence. So even when good things happen, the brain is already waiting for the next condition. Happiness isn't the absence of pain. And that idea alone changes everything. The human mind is designed to experience contrast, not constant pleasure. Trying to erase sadness often makes it stronger and more persistent. Real happiness begins when emotions are allowed instead of resisted. At the core of happiness is attention, not circumstances. What you consistently focus on slowly becomes your emotional reality. Two people can live the same life and feel completely different inside it. The difference isn't luck, it's where the mind spends most of its time. But wait till you hear this part, because the brain has a built-in negativity bias. It remembers criticism longer than praise and danger more vividly than safety. This bias once kept humans alive, but today it quietly steals joy. Happiness requires learning to work with the brain, not against it. People who appear genuinely happy often have one shared trait. They don't eliminate negative thoughts, they don't argue with them either. They notice them, then gently redirect their attention to something grounding. This emotional flexibility matters more than positive thinking ever will. Another overlooked part of happiness is meaning. Pleasure feels good in the moment, but meaning sustains emotional well-being over time. Helping others, creating something, or standing for a value gives life weight and direction. Without meaning, happiness feels shallow and easily shaken. Happiness also depends on how you speak to yourself when no one is listening. The inner voice shapes mood more powerfully than external events. Harsh self-talk trains the nervous system to stay tense and alert. Kindness toward yourself signals safety, and safety is where happiness grows. Many people mistake busyness for fulfillment. Constant movement distracts from discomfort, but never resolves it. Stillness feels uncomfortable because it reveals what's been ignored. Learning to sit with yourself is one of the bravest steps toward happiness. What happens next will surprise you, because happiness isn't about adding more to your life. It's often about removing the habits that quietly drain emotional energy. Next, we'll uncover the hidden behaviors that block happiness and the small psychological shifts that actually change how life feels. Happiness becomes clearer when you notice what consistently pulls you away from it. Small habits, repeated daily, shape emotional life more than rare big moments ever do. Most unhappiness is not dramatic. It is slow, quiet, and familiar. And once you see these patterns, you can't unsee them. One of the biggest happiness blockers is constant comparison. The brain measures worth by looking sideways instead of inward. Social comparison creates a moving target that can never be reached. No matter how much you gain, someone else appears to have more. But wait till you hear this part, because comparison doesn't just steal joy, it distorts reality. You compare your behind the scenes to someone else's highlight reel. This creates the illusion that you are failing while others are thriving. Happiness fades not because life is bad, but because perception is skewed. Another silent thief of happiness is emotional suppression. Ignoring feelings doesn't make them disappear, it stores them in the body. Over time, this creates tension, fatigue, and emotional numbness. Feeling fully is not weakness, it is emotional hygiene. People who are happiest aren't free from pain. They process it. They allow disappointment, sadness, and fear to pass through instead of building walls. This movement keeps the emotional system flexible and alive. Blocked emotions stagnate, but expressed emotions evolve. Happiness also grows in the soil of gratitude, but not forced gratitude. Not the kind that denies struggle or guilt trips pain. Real gratitude notices small moments without demanding perfection. It's the ability to say this matters even on ordinary days. Another powerful shift is learning to separate control from concern. You can care deeply without trying to control outcomes. Letting go of control reduces anxiety more than avoiding problems ever could. Peace often begins when effort stops fighting reality. What happens next will surprise you, because happiness is deeply social. Humans regulate emotions through connection, not isolation. Feeling seen, heard, and understood calms the nervous system. One honest conversation can shift mood more than 100 distractions. Happiness also requires rest, not just sleep, but mental rest. Constant stimulation keeps the brain in survival mode. Silence, boredom, and slow moments reset emotional balance. A rested mind is more capable of joy. Over time, happiness becomes less about emotion and more about orientation. It becomes a way of relating to life, not a mood to chase. You learn to meet experience with curiosity instead of resistance. Life stops being something to win and starts being something to live. If this story made you rethink what happiness really is, don't rush past that feeling. Awareness is often the first quiet step toward change. If you want more human-centered psychology stories like this, support the channel, like the video, subscribe, and comment what happiness means to you right now.